Today, we're diving deep into the Hindu Puranas. Now, these aren't just ancient scriptures gathering dust, they're living, breathing stories. And we're about to explore one of the biggest, most spectacular sagas of them all, the Samudra Manthan, the great churning of the cosmic ocean. So let me ask you this. What if sworn enemies, we're talking absolute rivals, had to team up for the ultimate prize? It's not just some random thought. It's the very core of this incredible story. A cosmic struggle between gods and demons, all fighting for the secret to immortality. You know, every great story has that one moment that kicks everything off. And this one, it doesn't start with a huge battle. Nope, it all starts with a single, powerful curse that completely changes the game for the gods and gets this whole epic quest rolling. Just try to picture it. The Devas, these radiant, all-powerful gods, are suddenly stripped of all their strength. Just gone. They're left weak, totally vulnerable. Facing total ruin, they do the only thing they can. They go to the great god Vishnu for help. And Vishnu's solution, wow, it was just breathtakingly ambitious. His plan was to churn the entire ocean of milk to bring forth Amrit, the divine nectar of immortality. I mean, this was a task on a cosmic scale, way, way beyond what the weakened gods could ever do on their own. So, this brings us to a huge problem. To get their power back, the gods needed some serious muscle, and there was really only one place to find it. They had to go ask for help from their sworn enemies. And that forced this cosmic truce. So on one side, you have the Devas, totally desperate to get their power back. And on the other, their rivals, the super powerful Asuras, who were tempted into this deal with the promise of splitting the nectar of immortality. A very, very fragile piece for the ultimate prize. And the plan itself was just mind-blowing. They were going to use a whole mountain as a churning stick. And for the rope to spin it, they'd use Vasuki, the colossal king of serpents. The sheer scale of this is just incredible to think about. And now for the main event. The unlikely alliance is formed, and the greatest project in cosmic history begins. But, something this massive was never going to be easy. They hit a catastrophic snag almost right away. So as they start this monumental task, the churning rod itself, the great Mount Mandara, starts sinking into the ocean floor. Can you believe it? The whole quest was about to fail before it even really got started. But to save the day, Vishnu intervenes. He takes the form of his second avatar, Kurma, a gigantic tortoise. He dives deep into the ocean, puts the sinking mountain on his immense shell, and provides the stable foundation they needed to keep going. Just amazing. All right, so with the churn now stabilized on Vishnu's back, the ocean finally starts to give up its secrets. And they are incredible and, well, sometimes terrifying, because the first thing to come out was definitely not the nectar they were looking for. Before any treasures appeared, this lethal poison called halahal just erupts from the depths. Its fumes were so toxic, they could have destroyed the entire universe. So, in an act of pure self-sacrifice, Lord Shiva drinks the poison, holding it in his throat, which is why it turns blue, and saves all of creation from being wiped out. Okay, with that crisis averted, a whole parade of magnificent treasures starts coming out of the ocean. You've got Kamadhenu, the wish-granting cow, Airavata, the divine white elephant, and even the goddess of fortune herself, Lakshmi, who chose Vishnu as her eternal partner. And then, finally, the moment everyone had been working and waiting for, the divine physician Dhanvantari rises from the ocean. And in his hands, he's holding a pot with the ultimate prize, the Amrit, the nectar of immortality. So the nectar is here. The mission is accomplished. But that truce was always on shaky ground. And true to their nature, the Asura saw their chance and went for it. After all that work, the demons just break the deal, snatch the pot of nectar, and take off with it. For the Devas who started this whole thing, it was just a moment of complete despair. It really looked like all was lost. But the story is far from over. You know what they say, to defeat a trick, a greater trick is needed. And Vishnu? Oh, he had one last, absolutely brilliant move planned to set things right. Vishnu transforms into Mohini,
a woman of such enchanting, otherworldly beauty that the asuras were just completely mesmerized. They were so captivated, they actually handed her the pot of nectar and asked her to distribute it. She agreed, of course, and then she served it only to the gods. A clever, clever trick.
So the gods got their immortality, and the deception worked. But one demon's sharp thinking in that moment created a feud that lasts to this very day, a feud that is literally written in the sky itself. You see, one really clever asura named Rahu saw what was happening. He disguised himself as a god, slid into the line, and managed to drink a single drop of the immortal nectar right before anyone noticed. The sun and moon gods, Surya and Chandra, spotted him instantly. And in a flash, Vishnu's discus, the Sudarshana chakra, flies out and severs Rahu's head from his body. But it was too late. That one drop of nectar had already made his head immortal. And this is just such a cool part of the story. The Puranas weave this powerful myth to explain a real celestial event. So to this day, Rahu's immortal head chases the sun and moon across the sky, trying to get revenge by swallowing them, which creates the phenomenon we know as an eclipse. So in the end, with their immortality restored, the now empowered devas were able to defeat the asuras in one final battle. The cosmic balance was restored, and all those magnificent treasures from the ocean were spread throughout the cosmos, setting up a whole new order. This amazing story from the Puranas shows us that even the most bitter enemies can come together for a common cause. And it really leaves us with a big question for our own time. In a world filled with so much conflict, what great oceans could we churn? What incredible things could we achieve if we could just find a common purpose, even for a little while? Thanks for joining us.